Many religions around the world and throughout human history have spoken of the body as though it is a prison that keeps us trapped in this material dimension and also keeps us enslaved here against our will, even against our knowledge of really what is happening. But these different religions, and especially right hand path, even we could say like magical and alchemical traditions, speak of breaking free of this body, like breaking free of the chains so that you can ascend to the celestial realm to meet with God and have a kind of mystical union where you will finally be free at last to enjoy freedom, liberation, and paradise. Now, in the left-hand path, and specifically in Plutosophia, certainly there is an aspect of this that we acknowledge. Certainly the body, it is keeping us tied to this material realm, and it does limit us, but you cannot just simply deny the body. You can't ignore it, nor should you ridicule it. It is a part of our being, and it is a mirror and a reflection of other levels. So with the Hermetic law of correspondence, this body is still a part of this law. So the physical body is a mirror of our mental body, of our subtle bodies, of our spiritual body. And so it can't just be denied and ignored. It's all tied together. As human beings who are following kind of a spiritual path, we're striving to transcend this body, to attain mastery over the metaphysical. But yet I would argue, and we certainly do within Plutosophia, that starting from the other end, right, if you're starting in a highly metaphysical spiritual state, if they're ascended masters who have achieved this, or deities, angels, demons, what have you, they are working to come back to mastery of the physical realm. So it's a kind of a two-way street. And if human mystics are so obsessed with transcending this physical body, why would a being of light, let's say, have any interest in returning to a physical body or returning to the material realm? It's because it offers things that the other realms cannot. Yes, you can argue that it's, the body keeps us trapped here, or it limits us. If you want to think like that, you certainly can. However, the left-hand path, Satanism, Luciferianism, and Plutosophia is no exception to this. We do not deny pleasure. This material realm offers pleasures that are quite unique and that don't exist in the astral dimension or the celestial realm. And they exist because of the physical body. The enjoyment of good food, good drink, intimate relations, all of these things rely on the physical body. And so really the ideal is to have total mastery, and this is what Plutosophia strives for, is total mastery of body as well as mind and the subtle bodies and the spiritual aspects of the self. The idea is it is mastery in certain ways at certain times, yes, transcending the physical body, but not to just throw it away, right? You want mastery of all of it. You want to have your cake and eat it too. You need to master the mind, you need to master the body, you need to master the soul, the spirit, the subtle astral bodies, whatever you want to call these. Now, a big difference within Plutosophia, as well as other left-hand path traditions, as I mentioned, like Luciferianism, Satanism, is that it's not about ascending to the celestial realm so you can float around in the clouds as some disembodied soul, basking in the false creator God's forgiveness, having his blessing. It is so boring, don't you think? It's about embracing pleasure. As the Infernal Hierophant of Plutosophia, like this is my philosophy of it. It's all about pleasure. Like it really, it's all about pleasure. Whatever kind of sensation or pleasure it is, but these things do have a downside, right? Gluttony has a downside, and the body has a downside. It ages, it gets sick, it deteriorates. But if you could master it, and how do you master the physical body? Again, the law of correspondence. If you master any one realm, it kind of gives you access to the others, right? So through mastering your mind, it will help you to master your body. Through mastering your body, it's going to help you to master your mind. The microcosm and the macrocosm, they really are reflections, mirrors of one another. Going back to this idea of mastering the body, mastering the mind, the subtle body, the astral body, and then what do you do with that, right? So it's not going up to the celestial realm. It's turning around, breaking through the veil, crossing through the threshold of the forbidden gates, right? It's about that forbidden knowledge, the very thing that created that schism in the celestial order, where you had, all of these angels rebel, angels such as Satan, Lucifer, Belial, Azazel, Astaroth, and they fell from grace. They are the fallen angels because they they created the left-hand path. When they descended from heaven, they left heaven to create a new order in the abyss, in the chaos. This new order is hell, and this is the left-hand path. This is how it's viewed. This is the philosophy of Plutosophia anyways. And we go this way for the very same reason that these dark angels did, or these demons, because we do not want to submit. We believe in free will, and we believe in the pursuit of absolute power, apotheosis, right? If full, unfiltered, unencumbered evolution. And that continual evolution leads to godhood, leads to self-deification, apotheosis. This is the ultimate goal of black alchemy, of even I would say black magic, all of this stuff. And certainly within Plutosophia, this is the end goal. The transmutation of the human body, all of its levels and aspects and dimensions, into the vampire diamond body. And that's when you become a living god. So this isn't the path for right-hand path mystics or light workers. It is the path of the demonologer, the black magician, the sorcerer. It is the left-hand path. It is the path of Plutosophia. It's not an escape from darkness. It is going into the darkness, descending into it, falling into it, just as those dark angels did when they rebelled within the celestial order. Okay, so in this video we're going to be talking about astral projection. Astral projection as a concept, as a practice, or astral travel, as it is also known, has been practiced for thousands of years, although it hasn't always gone by that name. So in ancient Egypt, they believed that the soul actually had multiple parts, and one of these was the Ba. And they believed that this aspect of the soul could, during sleep, or also ritual or trance, meditation, things like this, that it could actually travel and visit other realms, celestial realms, infernal realms. It could travel to the underworld and explore and learn and gain knowledge and wisdom and more power. In Norse traditions, there is something called the Fylgja, and this is a kind of spirit double or spiritual double that could actually, just like the body, could travel independently of the physical body, and it could actually travel ahead of the body to scout out areas, places, to attack, right? So we're talking here about things like psychic warfare, astral warfare, and it could also haunt, which is very interesting. Take part in hauntings, having that threat to use against your enemy. You know, I will come back and haunt you. Well, the Norse certainly believe in this. And in shamanic cultures, they believed actually that not only could the soul do this, detach and travel to different realms, but that it was actually a rite of passage, a rite of power, and also a test of one's worth as an individual, and a kind of test of their spiritual unfoldment. Okay, now in the 19th and 20th centuries, we see this kind of revival of esoteric interest in the occult and a lot of occult practices, and you see things like interest in psychic phenomena and spirit communication, mediumship, and you know, all these kinds of things. You have things like theosophy, ceremonial magic coming about as well, especially in the 20th century, New Age spirituality, right? And this is still big, it's still going on, New Age spirituality. You know, all is love, the universe is love, law of attractions, positive thinking. Now, there is some truth to this, but the whole really kind of hippy-dippy thing is what, you know, like the 1960s. It was just everything's about love, and it's just, I just see it as the just a lot of just weakness. We'll just leave it at that. But you know, it was kind of this sanitized view of magic, spirituality, alchemy, and even the whole concept of the astral realm, astral travel. It became very sanitized. Everything was, you know, hippies and love and smiling gurus and harp music, and you know, and that's still, you know, crystals and things like this, and it's still going on. However, the left-hand path has never has never bought into any of this. It's always going its own way. So within the left-hand path in Plutosophia, the astral realm, it is not a playground of love and light. It is a realm of shadows, depth, hidden things, hidden forces, hidden entities, deities. It's filled with demons, phantoms, egregores, ancient intelligences, and, you know, terrifying things, even dangerous things. However, in the left-hand path, we do not run away from these things. We run towards them. We embrace them. The left-hand path is not about love and light and going to the light. It's going to the darkness. You know, they talk about at the time of death, you see that light, and popular media, this is where we get this idea from. It's pushed. It's like a propaganda. It's like, go to the light, go to the light. Almost everybody's going to go to that light. But if you're truly of the left-hand path, are you going to go to that light? See, that's the real test. You know, you can talk the talk, but if you experience that, are you going to go to that light, or are you going to turn around, face the darkness, and walk into that darkness? Like, turn your back to that light and walk away from it, into the abyss. I mean, they talk about faith in the right-hand path. That is real faith right there. So, okay, so let us get back to astral projection, astral travel. So, like, what is it actually? You know, to keep it simple, to put it simply, it is a separation of the subtle body, let's call it, It's also known as the astral double, the astral body, shadow self, light body, from the physical body, right? And it really is as simple as that. And how is this done? Well, it can be done through deep meditation, energy work, energy work, even things like vampirism, metaphysical vampirism, trances, dream yoga, lucid dreaming. There's various ways that it is done. But whatever modality it is, these things are all just tools. Remember that in the end. Everything is just a tool, whether it's a religion or a form of magic or alchemy. They're all just tools. The only thing that is important is, the end result, the end game. And does the tool work or not? If it doesn't, you might need a different tool. But in any case, this experience is talked about. You leave your body. Perhaps you feel like you're floating near the ceiling. And a lot of times, people who experience this talk about, turning around and seeing their own body, perhaps sleeping, or they travel to familiar places. And that's a common theme. With the actual travel, they speak of traveling to, familiar places. And these are known as safe zones, but they're really much like these little shallow tide pools on the edge of a vast ocean. So what this means is that even if people are having success with astral traveling, they're really not taking it to its full potential. You know what I mean? They're playing it very safely, whether knowingly or not. But of course, in the left-hand path, we're going into the danger zone, right? We're going into the danger zone. We're going into that. So we would certainly push the envelope here. Not being content with hanging out on the beach or getting our feet wet or maybe even doing some boogie boarding or surfing. No, we're going way out deep into the depths of the ocean, into the realm of Leviathan. We want to explore the realm of Leviathan, the goddess of the abyss, the goddess of the sea, the water elemental demoness. In Plutosophia, we work with astral projection for many things, for performing magic, alchemy, demonolatry, performing, especially within demonolatry, and performing invocation and communion with various demons. Can also be used for magical psychic warfare, especially that as well. Also vampirism, metaphysical vampirism, where you are feeding at distances, not only across space, but also across time. These things are possible. Imagine this. You're in a dream, but it's not your dream. It's a lucid dream, so you're fully conscious, you're aware that you're dreaming, but again, it's not your dream. Can you imagine this bizarre scenario and how this would feel? And within this dream, even though you're lucid, so you could wake yourself up, presumably. However, your curiosity pushes you further, and you continue on moving forward within this dreamscape, and you find yourself standing within a vast cathedral, and the walls are carved from a very hard black stone. There's candles around, but they're burning with a violet fire, and there are symbols etched into the walls, although you cannot make out exactly what they are, what they're saying, or what their meaning is. You hear through the corridors distant whispers, and you can feel that you're being watched. You can feel that there's eyes upon you, although you cannot see anyone or anything. You certainly can't pinpoint exactly where these sounds are coming from. So it's this very eerie feeling within this cathedral. And this is kind of what astral projection feels like on the left-hand path. It's not always comfortable or pleasant, but rarely are things easy that bring about great rewards for those who win. So you have to decide, really, do you have faith? Do you have belief? Is your intention strong? How about your passion, your desire? Will you pursue this path? Will you turn your back to the light and step into the darkness? Will you be like the Fool in the Major Arcana, the Tarot, who knowingly steps off of the cliff, even though he doesn't know what lies beyond that edge? He knows he will fall into the void, into the abyss. His face is serene, though, because he is initiated into the left-hand path, and he has total faith in himself. Faith in himself. In this realm, this is the realm of shadow. Courage is your currency here. Belief, willpower is your currency here. And it is the only thing that matters. Really, to get down to the heart of the matter for a magician or alchemist within the left-hand path, and certainly within Plutosophia, astral projection, astral travel, is not so much about going somewhere, but rather about transmutation and transformation and becoming something else, something greater, refining yourself. It is very much about becoming a warrior, embracing fear. With regards to demonolatry, the astral dimension, it is a great place for invocation of demons and communing with demons, communicating with them. You can call upon Lucifer and meet him face to face in his domain within the infernal realm of the astral plane. Demons such as Lilith, Belial, Azazel, Behemoth, Leviathan, Satan, Astaroth. You can summon these demons, you may invoke them, and they may appear to you. They may arrive and appear to you as powerful, energetic impressions, as personified entities, as as anything. And it really depends on the individual magician. Through astral travel and coming to the astral plane, you can build your astral temple. And everyone should have an astral temple, and this is an eternal structure. It is the temple that is built in silence, without human hands, beneath the temples, literally, right? In the mental plane, in the astral plane. It is your own sovereign place where you can have seclusion, security, safety, and you can come here to perform rituals, perform black magic, perform alchemy, perform demonolatry, perform psychic warfare, vampirism, any modality of metaphysics, as above, so below. Just as a black magician could perform and does perform ritual within this physical, earthly, carnal plane, they may also do so within the astral plane. And here, of course, there are no limitations. The only limit is that of your own imagination. And the more you work with this, the more you practice and are consistent with projection, the more it becomes real, the more it becomes tangible and alive and interactive. It's all about what you put into it. Within Plutosophia, we understand astral projection and the astral realm as a battlefield, and this is how we view it. Not only metaphorically and figuratively, but literally. Like the astral dimension, particularly within the infernal realm, within hell, it is filled with things. It is filled with ancient ruins of past empires built by sorcerers and magicians from long ago. You may encounter guardians that have been left behind, also traps left by various entities or magicians, sorcerers, what have you. There are domains that are claimed and ruled by egregores, ancient deities, gods and goddesses, hostile entities. So when traveling this way through the infernal realms, it's not so much, you can't really just have the simple innocent mindset that you are visiting here. You really must be that warrior, and you must assert your dominance and your sovereignty, and you must invade. And this is going to require that you actually defend your presence. So, enter here wearing the black armor of the will. It is very important to do it this way, to even bring weapons into this realm. Not only the black armor, but swords forged of your will. And so it's really a testing ground for the Black Magician warrior, for the Plutosophian. Can you walk through this realm and assert your dominance? Can you walk amongst enemies and hostile entities without flinching, without running away, without submitting? Can you wield power in this place where your very psychic thought energy, your very thoughts, your very mind shapes reality? This is where it gets very dangerous, because if you don't have an unwavering will and belief in yourself and intention, negative things can manifest. Thoughts are manifesting as reality here. Thoughts shape reality here. And that means even things like fear can structure and become form. So you must be very careful with this. Yes, again, it's talked about the left-hand path is dangerous because you're stepping into a realm of chaos. So this is untapped power, untapped potential, full potential. This is why, people who take this path, they're not insane. They're well aware of the dangers here, but the allure of it, the promise, if you win, the reward promised is unmatched by anything else. Coming back to, the idea of the physical body that I spoke of at the beginning of this video, in Plutosophia, it's not about escaping the body. It never was. It's about mastering it, having your cake and eating it too. Mastery of all levels, all dimensions, all aspects, all levels of mind, all levels of body, subtle, physical, mental, spiritual, all metaphysical levels and bodies. And so when you do that, the body is not a prison, it's not a limitation, it's just really the starting point. But it is a gateway as well to physical pleasure in the physical realm. It's not something to be dismissed or ignored or thrown away. And this is something that, while within the right-hand path, they'll certainly never tell you about. And even within occult initiatory orders or various initiations of various, even left-hand path systems or orders, whatever. This is something that they don't always tell you about, that you were never meant to escape the body in pursuit of some kind of transcendent purity. You were meant to master it. In Plutosophia, we don't view the body as a trap. It is, okay, a threshold, okay, that's fine, but not a trap. And the other subtle bodies, or the soul, if you will, or whatever metaphysical, spiritual element of ourselves, it is not caged. It is not chained. This is all an illusion. Here's something that you can try today, right now. Very simple yet potent method of astral projection. And what you do is you lie in total darkness. You place a candle nearby, but you do not light this candle. So you have an unlit candle placed nearby, preferably a black candle, and you are using visualization. And what you're visualizing is a flame that is behind your sternum, kind of between your ribs. And this flame is glowing a dark, dark red. And then you take your chosen demon, perhaps your matron demon, patron demon, mentor demon, and you begin chanting their name. So you begin chanting the name of your chosen demon, and you do this until you feel that your lips and your breath are disconnected from the body. And as you chant, you visualize this flame expanding and hollowing out your body until it becomes a body filled with light and shadow. And it's very chaotic and energetic and moving a lot. However, your breath is the only thing that is holding it all together. And what happens is that you will begin to feel your vibration increase, so an increasing vibration, and then a sudden vibrational shift. And this may be accompanied by a buzzing in the ears or feeling kind of sinking weight or even a light pressure in the chest area. And at this point, you begin to rise, but you don't think about it, right? So we want to turn off our thoughts and go with our, kind of with the feeling of it. And you just use your willpower and your unwavering intention and focus. So you just simply step forward, or you float up, or you roll out of the body. The method really doesn't matter. Again, it's just a tool, but the idea is to leave, to astral project. Now, once this has happened and you arrive in the astral dimension, you call upon your matron, patron, mentor, demon, guide, whoever it is, and then you use them as a guide. You go together to your astral temple. Lucifer was the first to walk the stars in rebellion. As we teach in Plutosophia, Lucifer was one of the angels that rebelled, so he's a dark angel, he's a demon. He was among those who rebelled against the celestial order, and they forged the left-hand path and forged a new order within hell. And he took this path. He projected beyond the celestial boundaries, metaphorically through his hopes and dreams, thoughts, desires, his philosophy, but also literally. He stepped into the void, into the abyss. He stepped beyond the veil that the false creator had put in place to, well, he put up many veils. Within the garden, he put up veils to keep humans ignorant, to keep them submissive and enslaved, but also even with the angels, they were kept in line as well. But Lucifer, being one of the fallen, knew or came to realize that the veil is an illusion. And when he realized that, it was effortless. The matter of pushing away this veil. And when he pushed the veil aside, he stepped beyond it. And what he found was not destruction or pain or even punishment. What he found was total freedom and potential. Right? What he discovered was a realm of unclaimed power, untapped potential, where your very will shapes reality. So this, the allegory of the fall of the angels and the fall of Lucifer in a way, it is speaking of projection. It's, tearing away from that imposed order, that imposed celestial order. It's a conscious choice, right? All of the demons, the fallen angels, it was a conscious choice. They were exercising their free will. They were not, it's not like they were kicked out. They left of their own free will. It was their choice to leave, to forge a new order out in that darkness, out in that abyss, out in the void, out in the chaos. And this is what every left-hand path magician, and in Plutosophia, every alchemist and sorcerer, magician, metaphysician within Plutosophia, this is what we're doing. We're taking this same path of projection. Not to return with divine approval, but to become divine, apotheosis, to become divine through defiance. So astral projection, through the philosophy of infernal metaphysics within Plutosophia, it's not an escape. It's not, don't think of this as being some method of escaping your problems or escaping reality. No, it's about confronting things that are shadow, are chaotic, for personal empowerment. And this astral plane, it's not, don't just think of it like it's this place. Think of it like a metaphysical feedback loop that is always, constantly, consistently reflecting back to you the state of your own being, your own soul, and your own will. Right? It's reflecting this back to you, and as you evolve, as you change, it will reflect that back to you as well. So it's a place for evolving. It's a place that helps you with your evolution as a magician, as an alchemist. Remember, when you're going into these realms, you must invade. You must be the warrior. You're not asking for things. You're not asking for permission. You are commanding. Right? You're not running away. You are embracing. Those in the right-hand path seek mystical union with the false creator or with some deity. Right? So, but this is a kind of submission, and you're seeking approval and permission, and always hoping that you will be chosen and you will be loved. But it's completely the opposite in Plutosophia and the left-hand path. It's about sovereignty of the self. You must assert your dominance. You must assert your sovereignty. You must claim your sovereignty. You must conquer. Like truly, you must have this warrior mindset. No, you must be the warrior. Because really, astral projection, it's not about, in the end, it's not about even leaving your body or going somewhere else. It's about mastering yourself. It's not about going somewhere, it's about becoming something. Remember this, if you've been following along to this point of this video, yes, your body is flesh, it is carnal, it is how we manifest in this material realm. But the soul, whatever term you want to use here, this is flame, this is fire. We were born into the physical material realm with our physical bodies, but our true selves were forged within the void, and that is where we return to evolve.